All right, John Harders. So, as promised, a little bit about the CalHFA Dream for All DFA program, the lottery that's coming out over the next maybe from now until the next couple few weeks. First things first, now is the time to connect with everyone in your world and tell them about what's coming, right? And when I say connect with everybody, first things first, send out that email, right? Hopefully, you'll have a blog that you wrote about this and you'll reference the blog in your email. But please make sure that you kind of understand who's interested and who wants more information from your database. Post a blog on Google, post a reel about this. Send it around your mission to get buyers back to 28 and don't stop. Make your calls, send your texts, send your video texts, right? So send it, take out your phone and say, anybody in my database interested in, hey Jim, would you be interested in getting more information about the Cal Alpha Dream for All program? Do you know anybody that might be interested? Anybody that's been waiting? Not everyone will hit the lottery, obviously, but that's not the point. The point isn't that. The point is that no one should miss the opportunity simply because no one told them to prepare. And that's the point. And I want to make sure that you all understand that it's not when the CalHFA opens up the program. The work starts from now, right? CalHFA has said that they'll open up the program early in 2026, but dates aren't out yet. But preparation for a lot of people has already started. And I obviously preparation is how we win, right? Um, I wanna say again, it's going to come out anywhere between now, any minute now, or until about mid-February. But your job isn't to predict when it's going to come out, and your job isn't to predict who's going to get selected. Your job is to start conversations and allow us to help getting people approved early. The last time around, when we were in the thick of it, applicants we submitted first uh, got the ticket, right? That was it. So Golden Coast Finance is fully prepared to take the burden off your shoulders. We'll incubate those buyers. We will educate them. We will pre-approve them. We will collect all of their docs, and we will make sure that we keep them on track. All we need from you is one call telling us which buyers of yours to incubate. If they qualify, great. If they don't, they still walk away smarter and kind of closer to home ownership, right? Um, what your clients need to know, a little bit of high level stuff. Again, read about this, ChatGPT about it, Google about it. Up to 20% or $150,000 in down payment assistance. So, for example, if your buyer wants to buy a $700,000 loan, 20% of that is $140,000. That $140,000 is assistance that's for the down payment. So that means that your buyer doesn't have to take a penny out of pocket. From that 20%, by the way, they can use part of it for closing costs. So if they want to put 15% down and 3% for closing costs, only take 18%, they're more than welcome to do that. They don't need to take the entire 20% for closing costs. Some of it they can use for they don't have to take the entire 20% for down payment. Some of it they can use for closing costs. Equity share with CalHFA matches assistance received. So, for example, if there is a $100,000 appreciation, so your client buys the property 5 years later, it goes from 700,000 to $800,000, and they took 20%, then 20% appreciation, they would have to give back CalHFA unless their area median income, which I'll show you how to find out what their area median income is in a second, is 80% or lower. Okay. A one-time refinance exception is allowed, right? So if rates go down and they want to refinance over the next couple of years, uh, it doesn't trigger a repayment one time. Conventional financing only, obviously, it's only both going through CalHFA, and rate buy downs are permitted, right? So if you wanted to buy down the rate or the buyer wanted to buy down the rate, do a 2-1 rate buy down, they can use part of those closing cost credit to buy down the rate. Some of the things that you should know, first time buyers only, obviously. But one thing that is not so obvious is the first generational buyers only as well, right? So parents couldn't have owned property. They had to be first generation buyers. I think I would definitely call every single renter that you know. God knows we've had plenty of leases over the last couple few years. Call all those people that rented and thought that home ownership was years away, right? Anyone who's ever been told that it's not possible because home prices are too high, rates are too high, now are getting 20% assistance as far as down payment is concerned. Again, this is not about selling, it's about doing your job as a professional and keeping your people informed. This is about our mission to getting buyers back to 28. The first time home buyer average being at 40, ladies and gentlemen, is a catastrophe. And our job as professionals, as real estate professionals, is to get them back to 28. Make the calls, send your DMs on social, put up your reels, make sure your blogs are written, make sure your emails are sent. Loop us in, loop the guys at Golden Coast Finance in, Natalie, Gato, Silva, Christine, all these guys, Arthur, all these guys are ready to help you, right? Let us do the heavy lifting. There's obviously a lot more details that we're going to get, and as we get them, I'll share them with you. But for now, look up the sites, right? Make sure that every single site that you have access to, you reference in your blog. So, for example, here, let me share a few. This is the obvious one. There's a lot of more information that I just shared with you on calhfa.ca.gov/dream. The moderate income that I was telling you about, the 80 to 120%, they share 20% of the appreciation. Okay. If your buyer's income is between 80 to 120% AMI, then they share 20%. But if your buyer's income is 80% of AMI or under, then the share in appreciation is only 15%. Okay, so that's very, very, very important. How do you know the area median income? Well, all you got to do is look up Google area median income lookup tool, and then you'll be directed to this Fannie Mae page, and then put in the city, and then every single city you'll get the area median income. Okay, so definitely reference all these pages on your blog. Get yourself educated on CalHFA. This is a great opportunity. It's going to get buyers who thought that home ownership was out of reach back into the market, which will further flood the market after interest rates are lowered. But hey, this is what we do as professionals. Um, we service the people that deserve our very best. John Harder's, cheers.